Hey everyone, it's Craig here with your Disney News Roundup for the week of January 16th, 2021. I'll be filling in for Rhino for the next few weeks while he's working on some behind the scenes projects, but you'll still be able to see his pretty face if you support us on Patreon, and you can find out more information about supporting us there at patreon.com/disunplugged. And also, I want to remind you that you can support us by using Dreams Unlimited Travel for your next Disney vacation. If you want any extra information, help, get in touch with one of the amazing agents today at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Now, let's move on to the news. I really do regret that Rhino isn't here this week because it was a jam-packed week for news and most of it wasn't fantastic. So I'm going to start with the positives. And the first positive is actually about today. Gideon's Bakehouse has finally reopened and today is their official grand opening. Hey! They are celebrating in a huge way by making 5 of their limited edition cookies available all day until supplies do run out, including Frankenstein. I had this in October at their original location, and it's amazing. Santa's White Christmas, chocolate peanut butter swirl, and the coffee toffee chocolate chip, plus the coffee cake cookie, which is available every single day at Disney Springs, but today only it was available all day until, again, supplies run out. And a bunch of special giveaways were available to those who were among the first to be there, but I'm not going to bother listing them off because by the time you watch this, you're way too late. But I am happy to see Gideon's back. I am just obsessed with Gideon's cookies. If you saw our review at youtube.com/Disney Dining, you know how much I love these cookies. I think it is the best dessert you can get at Walt Disney World right now and basically Orlando, Florida. So as soon as you're down here next, stop by Gideon's Cookies. You will not regret it at all. Now, over at Epcot, the Soul of Jazz, an American Adventure exhibit, will be making its debut inside the American Adventure this February. The exhibit will feature Joe Gardner from Disney Pixar's Soul and will take guests on a musical tour of America with stops in New Orleans, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, and San Juan. Very nice to see that exhibit is getting updated with something fresh, especially if they can bring in Soul. Now, speaking of different locations around the world, and what may be one of the worst transitions ever here, thank you very much, Adventures by Disney is stepping into a new market with expedition cruises. Voyages to Antarctica will begin in late 2021, and trips to the Galapagos Islands will start in 2022 aboard Pona Cruises. I am probably saying that completely wrong, but I read that the T at the end is silent like in croissant. So I'm going to say Pona Cruises, a leader in luxury polar expeditions. That means Adventures by Disney will now offer family vacation experiences across all 7 continents. I lost my words there. I got so excited by that news. The expedition cruises will be similar to other Adventures by Disney's experiences with a team of adventure guides leading engaging programming for adults and junior adventurers, but it's just aboard an intimate expedition ship. And I could spend an hour going into all of the details of the expedition cruises, which look incredibly amazing and incredibly out of my price range. But I'm sure that the gang from Dreams Unlimited Travel will be releasing an in-depth show on it very soon over at youtube.com/dreamsunlimitedtravel. So look out for it there. But if you want any extra information or assistance in planning one of these vacations or any other Adventures by Disney trips, head over to dreamsunlimitedtravel.com today. Now, for news that I know is probably important, but I'm not completely sure why, the Orlando Business Journal is reporting that the Walt Disney Company could be considering moving some of its office divisions from its headquarters in California to Lake Nona here in Central Florida. The majority of the company's business offices have been located in California for nearly a century, so it would be a pretty big change, but it's unclear which divisions or how many people would make the move. Apparently, a bunch of California companies have been making the move to southeastern cities because they're more business and tax friendly. And Tuna Amobi, a director and industry analyst for CFRA Research, thinks that frustrations with California's government could also be at play in the decision. I'm not going to speculate on whether or not this will happen and what positive implications it will have on Central Florida and Walt Disney World, so I'll just say stay tuned for more updates on that one. And now I'm going to bounce down the street to Universal Orlando for a second because they announced details on their Mardi Gras celebration for 2021. Because of the ongoing pandemic, they are switching things up for their celebration this year with Mardi Gras 2021 International Flavors of Carnival. The event will feature authentic cuisine inspired by the most iconic carnival festivities across the globe. And that means 70 dishes and beverages from 13 locations across the globe will be featured. Unfortunately, the extremely fun parade will not be back this year, but guests will have a chance to get up close to the floats as they are stationed around the park. And decor will also be placed all around the park. Dancers, stilt performers will be out in the streets. There'll be beads, there'll be bands from the Big Easy, and of course, Mardi Gras themed merchandise inside the Mardi Gras Tribute Store. And this event will kick off Saturday, February 6th, and it will continue daily through Sunday, March 28th, 2021. Laissez-les bon temps rouler. Back over near Disney property, the new Evermore Orlando Resort, I should say, will be opening in 2023. The billion-dollar 10,000-room resort project will offer a new approach to vacationing, according to the developer. Evermore Orlando will feature a large-scale community of homes solely built for the purpose of vacation renting. Flats and homes in the resort, they will range from 2 to 11 bedrooms. I had to double check my writing on that. But yes, 2 to 11 bedrooms. And this will also be the location of Orlando's first Conrad Hotel, Hilton's luxury brand. Evermore Orlando is a redevelopment of the villas at Grand Cypress, meaning it's just minutes away from Magic Kingdom and Disney Springs on the border of Walt Disney World. And the property will also include a 20-acre tropical beach complex and a new 18-hole Nicklaus design golf course, plus numerous restaurants. Sounds very, very interesting. And why do I mention Evermore Orlando? Well, because it might end up becoming an option for lots of people traveling to Walt Disney World who are ticked off with the next news that I'm about to mention. If you've made it to Saturday and you still haven't heard the big news of the week yet, I just want to say congratulations. Disney's Magical Express transportation from Orlando International Airport to Walt Disney World Resort will be discontinued on January 1st, 2022. There will be no free replacement option for guests of Disney Resort hotels, leaving guests to choose from options like Uber, Lyft, private car services, renting your own vehicle, and you know the rest. And this is a hot topic for a lot of people. And we talked about it a lot on our Walt Disney World Edition podcast this past week, but there was some construction going on outside my house, so I didn't really get to put in my 2 cents. I'm not going to take a lot of time here because obviously you're here for the news, but I do want to say I am upset about this because I remember in 2005 when it launched and we started using it on our vacations, it really was that official start of the trip. It's when everything kicked off. And even though we would rent cars sometimes, the Magical Express still was something special. And it did start the vacation off in a positive way. And then it also finished it in a really memorable way as well, too. And so I think I think for those who made it a tradition to use Magical Express, it is a huge loss. And I'm right there with you. Even though I don't use the service now because I live in Central Florida, I would be really bummed about it if I did move away and then came back here and didn't have it available. And so I know it's going to mean that lots of people might move off property for their hotel stays, or they'll rent a car and then maybe get to actually see the rest of Central Florida, which is a truly amazing place and something I do recommend that people see. But I feel y'all on the Magical Express news. It's going to be a weird change of driving on 417 and not necessarily seeing those buses moving back and forth. That's truly will be the end of an era here. But I know a lot of people are just shaking off this loss because of the Brightline station that will be added on Disney property sometime in the upcoming years. But for me, it also doesn't seem like a good enough replacement. Even if there is a way to transfer your luggage from the Orlando International Airport directly to your Disney hotel, the station's still set to be at Disney Springs, meaning that instead of boarding a bus at MCO and then getting dropped off at your hotel, you'll now have to get a train at MCO, end up at Disney Springs, and then transfer to a different bus or transportation to get to your hotel. And it just seems complicated to me, especially I'm someone who it's just my wife and I right now. I can't imagine having, 4 or 5 kids in tow with me trying to move them all around to get to Walt Disney World properties. So I'm not going to act like I can actually predict the future on this one. So we'll just have to see how it all plays out over the next several years. And on the same day of the Magical Express news, Disney also announced that extra magic hours are going away and will be replaced by early theme park entry as part of the 50th anniversary celebration of Walt Disney World. Disney Resort hotel guests and guests of other select hotels will have 30-minute early entry to any theme park every day instead of one park having 1 hour of early entry. In the release, Disney did mention that valid admission and a park reservation will be needed to enter the park, so this is a solid way to introduce early entry to the parks for resort guests in the era of park reservations without being exclusive. At first, I was kind of I don't want to say annoyed or peeved, but something kind of bothered me about this news. And as the week has gone on and other news has come out, this one actually bothers me a lot less because, now that the crowds are going to disperse, I don't think I actually said that word correctly. Now that they're going to be dispersed evenly over 4 parks, maybe not. I shouldn't even assume that. The point I'm trying to make is that if everyone still rushes to Magic Kingdom for early entry and you only have 30 minutes instead of an hour, yeah, that's a bummer. But if you have equal amounts of guests going to Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and maybe Epcot for some reason, at least it's going to break it up. So maybe you won't get nearly as much done as you could before with an hour early entry, but I feel like there's an argument to be made that you might be able to still accomplish the same amount, but we'll have to see. Now, if the news about Walt Disney World wasn't bad enough, Disneyland said, "Hold my beer," as they announced that the annual pass holder program is coming to an end. A statement from Ken Potrock, president of the Disneyland Resort, said, "We want to thank our annual pass holders for their understanding during this closure period. Due to the continued uncertainty of the pandemic and limitations around the reopening of our California theme parks, we will be issuing appropriate refunds for eligible Disneyland Resort annual passports and sunsetting the current program. We are currently developing new membership options that will utilize consumer insights, to deliver choice, flexibility, and value for our biggest fans. We can speculate all we want on what options will actually be available, but this is a huge blow to anyone who lives in Southern California. Locals are the lifeblood of Disneyland, and hopefully they'll be able to have affordable options to get them back into the parks as much as possible when they do finally reopen. Disneyland pass holders who did have active passports as of March 14th, 2020 will continue to receive discounts based on their passport type on merch and food and beverages at select downtown Disney District and Buena Vista Street locations until new membership offerings are announced. As an added benefit, starting January 18th through February 25th, 2021, these pass holders will receive a 30% discount on select merchandise at select locations in downtown Disney District and Buena Vista Street Monday through Thursday. And let's keep the bad news rolling. It shouldn't be a surprise at this point, but Disney Cruise Line has announced that they've made the decision to cancel all March 2021 sailings now. Disney Cruise Line is offering guests who have already paid their reservation in full the choice of a 125% future cruise credit to be used for a future sailing prior to May 31st, 2022, or a full refund. Not surprising, but still sad for those holding out hope for Disney Cruise Line's return. Finally, to mix sad and happy news, Kevin Rafferty from Walt Disney Imagineering will be retiring after 42 years. Rafferty has previously announced that he would be retiring soon, but that still doesn't make the news any less sad because of the legacy that he did leave. Rafferty was a writer, creative director, and leader over the years and has had a hand in experiences like Typhoon Lagoon, Pleasure Island, Tower of Terror, Muppet Vision 3D, Blizzard Beach, Test Track, Rock and Roller Coaster, It's Tough to Be a Bug, Mickey's Filler Magic, Toy Story Mania, and finally, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. He may not have had the same name recognition to casual fans like Joe Rohde had, but his impact on the company over the years has been nothing short of massive, so we wish him the happiest retirement and thank him for everything he has done for Disney fans. And that's it for the news this week. Again, I'm sorry that Rhino couldn't be here to read it because I know he brings a lot more personality and fun, but hey, it could be worse than Craig Williams. It really could. So before you leave, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed to the channel and leave any comments and questions you have in the comments below. And of course, if you need actual links to the stories that we talked about in this news segment, you can find those all in the description, and then you can read the news on your own without listening to me butcher it. Hey, that's fun. So we'll be back next week with more Disney news, but until then, bye-bye.